He lay in his own blood, but the phone kept ringing. His sister, who had broken off relations with him, begged him to help take care of his niece. Listening to his sister's voice on the other end of the phone, Rich hesitated for a while and agreed. He rinsed the red water, wrapped a few rounds of gauze randomly and went out. When the girl, who was both good in character and learning, walked out of the auditorium, she was greeted by a face that was extremely
I have
depressed.
gymnastics rehearsal in 27 minutes. If I'm not there on time, there will be hell to pay.
After a string of rapid fire, the man finally had a chance to introduce himself, but the girl said,
I don't care.
Richie had no choice but to send her to gymnastics class, but the girl had received elite education since childhood, and had no common topics with this extremely failed man. On the way home, both of them had cold faces and deliberately sat far away. He sent her home on time as the girl instructed. Now he could finally concentrate on what he was doing. He drank 20 vitamin tablets with beer and was waiting for the medicine to take effect when the phone rang again. This time it was the creditor who threatened to break his legs if he didn't pay back the money. Richie vowed to pay back the money tomorrow night, because he knew that he would never live until that time. He didn't want to live in such a miserable state before he died, so he scolded the other party and slammed the phone aside. But the phone was ringing again. The creditors claimed that they had come to his residence and they were going to give him a good beating. Richie opened the door carefully to check. The place was in a mess. The neighbors were having a party. Everyone was wearing a weird mask. He took off a drunk mask and put it on his face. He grabbed a bow and arrow and aimed at the elevator, intending to strike first. But when the elevator opened, there was an innocent old lady inside. Rich waved her to leave quickly, but the phone rang again. Unexpectedly. This time it was the niece who called. She said that it was so late and her mother still hadn't come home. Richie had to promise to rush over as soon as possible. He hung up the phone and realized that more than 10 minutes had passed and the pills had not worked. Richie borrowed the public phone downstairs of his sister's house and called the pharmacy. He learned that he had bought the wrong medicine. The medicine he had just swallowed was to relieve menopause, which would only make him emotionally stable. Richie smashed the phone in a rage. He had to go to his sister's house first. There was a blonde woman wandering at the door, looking sneaky. When she saw the man coming, she greeted him a few words and left in a hurry. The girl had been waiting for a long time and looked very uneasy. Richie had to comfort the girl and said that her sister might be partying with friends, but the girl denied this possibility.
No, it is not possible. She never hangs out with friends. She's never late. She never allows me to be late. She never drinks, she never smokes, and she never ever has left someone like you looking after me. Ever.